Let's get nuts indeeds. Go Seattle Mariners. What's happening, guys? Welcome to Film Junkie Live. It's Monday. It's the end of Monday. You got through another Monday, as we do. Oh, man. Had a rough start to my Monday. Not gonna lie. I definitely had a rough start to my Monday. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But hit that like, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Do all the things. Become a member if you want to support the channel. We do a members-only stream. Again, the schedule has changed, and I got to update the banner still, I know that. And I'll do that tomorrow. I got time to do that tomorrow. I'll update the banner just a little bit. I also brought something back on the Patreon last night, so if you want to support that. And then, of course, I do a post-show on Patreon, do a little post-show video to talk about, you know, extra little things and everything. So, good to see you guys. Who do we got out there? What's going on, Ryan? Great to see you, buddy. All right. Superman in the top 5. Nice. Yeah, look at that. He's got he's got legs. What's going on, Mr. Fear Jason? Good to see you. Clone Avenger, that is one sick photo of Deathstroke. It definitely is. Mr. Hard-Boiled. Eric, here's to no glitches or lags. Well, you just jinxed it, man. If the stream starts, glitching and lagging, it's Eric's fault for pointing it out. Miss Monique, what are we having tonight? It's venison stroganoff kind of night. Sounds pretty damn delicious right here. I've been eating leftover barbecue for the past couple of nights. Leftover barbecue. JD McRae, what's happening? We got the Glove Official. I love Sinners. Warfare, Superman the most this year, but I still need to watch The Long Walk and Magazine Dreams. That's right. Magazine Dreams is with what's his name, huh? Where he's like a bodybuilder. Which it didn't really go anywhere, especially after he got kind of canceled. Jay, what's happening? We got Arkham currently walking out of work and listening. Sweet. Always great to see you, bud. We got Mr. Real Anarchy right there. Good to see you as well. All right, guys. Who else we got? So is Henry Cavill still Superman? Coming back? I'm confused. No, I'll talk about it. Don't worry, Jay. We'll get to it. No. Just he's definitely not coming back. But we're going to talk about the certain things because again, we're in that little lull period right now where everything's just going to be kind of slow. So luckily, there's still a little bit of excitement out there. Obviously, we're going to be talking about Spider-Man. Brand new day. We got some more set photos and video, and I'm kind of going to talk about the box office. What's going on? We got Mr. Balga right here. What's happening? Good evening, Dave. How about Disney passing? Yeah, it's another thing we'll talk about too. Ben Solo movie with Adam Driver. What are they doing over there at Disney? Yeah, what are they doing over there in Disney? Huh? What are they doing over there at Disney? I have to watch it. What's going on? The comic book news of lies against James Gunn Superman. It came in for and is not a failure. Exactly. It's not a failure. It's definitely not a failure. Where do I go as Halloween? You will see. You will see, guys. You will actually see. You will see my costume because not this Friday, obviously, but the following Friday is Halloween. And, we do the vodka stream on Friday. So I'm going to dress up in the costume that I actually dressed in over this past weekend. That's right. Over this past weekend, I went to my dad's Halloween party. And that's why I have all this extra barbecue because he got it catered. He got the whole place catered. And, of course, they always order way too much, when it comes to all that. So we came home with, plenty of leftover barbecue, brisket, pulled pork. So I've been eating that for the past 2 nights, leftovers. And I'm just going, might have to have one more night. And then I think I'm going to call it. There's so much right there. So, let's see. We got Jose here. What's going on? People are so obsessed with streaming numbers and ratings. It's like it's gonna add to the box. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'd like to talk about it. You got to say it on both sides, though, Jose, because the other side, the side who wanted to fail, are probably even more obsessed with it, to be honest. But yeah, and go. You actually want to play the Blue Jays? You want your Dodgers to play the Blue Jays? All right. I would think, I asked my dad and any other Dodger fan when I actually want the Mariners. But hey, that's interesting because it seems like they might be an easier task than the Blue Jays. But hey, what could you do? It does not have a mask. It does not have a mask. And yeah, it was a little bit of a last minute costume. It was a little bit of a last minute costume that I put together. I was like, what do I want to do? And I thought, all right, I'll do that. And it was pretty easy. It required me to order one thing, just one thing. That's all I needed was one thing. So yeah, so I think it'll be all right. It's just basically taking a concept and then adding another layer to it. But like I said, and it's since the vodka stream is going to be on the 31st, it'll be I'll be dressed up as it. It's not too crazy. But hey, we got Dell in the city right here. What's going on? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, Dell. Anybody else? I guess that's it. All right, guys. Again, hit that like, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, do all the things. And I think the Mariners are still winning right now, 2-1 at least. So we'll see. Game 7, pretty damn exciting. But hey, you know what also is exciting, slightly exciting right here? So you guys know I'm a big Foo Fighters fan. And yeah, it's only a matter of time before a new album drops. And they basically tease it right here. So any Foo Fighter fans out there, we got this little snippet, little 30-second snippet. Oh, that's right. Yep, that's good stuff right there. Good little riffy stuff. Friday, October 31st, the streets are crowded for the holiday. Yeah. Yeah, what's going to happen? But you know what's funny, though? You know what's funny is the fact that this whole three-eye atlas thing, that supposed, spacecraft that's headed our way, that's been heading our way a little bit. Have you guys gone down that rabbit hole? Have you looked up 30, I think it's 30-eye atlas, right? I thought it was 31 atlas, but apparently there's going to be some crazy shit that's going to be happening on the 31st into November or something like that when it comes to that. So, so possibly Halloween we might get invaded. I don't know. I've gone down that whole thing, so. If you've gone down that rabbit hole, check out that rabbit hole. It's crazy. There's a lot of craziness out there, and it's probably just going to be just a comet that's just going to whiz right by us. So, Taylor Hawkins' son is not playing the drums. They have a new drummer his name is Elon something. I can't remember his last name. The guy has been all over the place. He's kind of like a drummer for hire. Really talented dude. He was playing for Nine Inch Nails. And basically, the Foo Fighters drummer that they had for the last 2 to 3 years, they kind of swapped. They swapped drummers. So that guy came to the Foo Fighters, and Josh Freese went to Nine Inch Nails. So, and it's a better fit. If you watch him, he's a better fit when it comes to the Foo Fighters. So yeah, there's some little bit of Foo Fighters right there. Blue Jays, because I want to see Scherzer pitch, and I want to beat the cheater Springer. Springer has a knee injury right now because he got hit in the knee 2 nights ago or something at it was game 5. He got hit in the knee really hard and everything. So, and speaking of Halloween and costumes, did you guys see the list of that? According to Google, this is the top 15 trending Halloween costumes of 2025. And naturally, again, because we're just out of the loop when it comes to all this stuff, because that whole K-pop Demon Hunters thing is just taking over, because top 5 are characters from that K-pop Demon Hunter. And then of course, Chicken Jockey, number 6, Labubu. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what Labubu is. And then you got another K-pop Demon Hunter, and then Alphaba. I don't even know what that is. Lorax, I know who that is. Hamilton, is that the play? Nightwing. Randomly, Nightwing is in there. Pretty interesting. Nurse, Silent Hill, of course. You gotta, make that a slutty nurse from Silent Hill. Toothless, and then Glinda. Just a lot of that. I'm just going like, just Nightwing slipping in there with the butt cheeks, you know? Because if you know how it is. Because, Nightwing doesn't have a cape. And everybody always comments about, his gluteus maximus. So it's just kind of funny. Just kind of funny how that is. I was like, why did he slip in there? Pretty interesting. Yeah, Josh Freese is a great, drummer. And when I saw him live, when I saw the Foo Fighters live last summer, God, that was over a year ago. He did great, but I think he fits better with Nine Inch Nails because he's just more, I don't know, there's just something about his style of drumming that fits better. And this new guy named Elon, it's Elon, I can't remember his last name. Not Musk, not Elon Musk. No, Elon, he's just more of the style of, he's got the long hair, he's like head banging, he just fits better because Dave Grohl, of course, Dave Grohl is like the head banging, blah, 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 blah. So, anyways, I just like, it was just, anyways, so yeah, when it comes to those costumes, it's very fucking weird. Very weird, very weird, very weird. All right, what else we got? Oh, we got Timothee Chalamet right here, teasing Dune Part 2 right here. And then, of course, he's doing, he posted something which, I give props to Timothee Chalamet when it comes to promoting the stuff that he's working on, the stuff that he's in. He actually is pretty good at social media, doing social media things. I mean, he did have a YouTube channel before he made it big. He was on YouTube. He was doing YouTube content. And so he knows how to handle a little bit of social media. But he posted this image right here on his social media. And then he did that thing that I absolutely fucking hate. And I know for a fact they will not do this, but I get why he does this. Dune 3 loading, but of course he turned the E into a 3. You know how that whole trend that studios like to do when they title movies, when it's like a sequel to a movie and they make like a certain letter look like the whatever number it is, just really, and I'm going, oh yeah, well, it's fine. I know Denis Villeneuve is not going to actually put that. It's going to be just simply Dune Part 3, maybe Dune Part 3 Messiah, I don't know. I seriously doubt that he would actually convert the E in Dune into a 3. He's not going to do that. He ain't going to do that. But really cool image right there. Cool shot of the little sunset or the sunrise, whatever it is. That was pretty sweet. And then I love content like this. I love to show this kind of stuff too. Talented stuff, talented creators out there. And this is stuff that AI, when it comes to all the AI shit out there, yeah, whatever, you can have some fun with that because I've seen some crazy fucking AI videos in the past weekend, I should say. Man, there's like on my TikTok, there is a channel that has to do with chiropractors and older people. Anyways, and it's ridiculous. But AI can't do this kind of shit. I mean, this is where human beings just get really creative with stuff. So you have that, and then you do the laying down thing. I mean, look at that. Stop motion. It's just super good. So cool. Just the way, what you could do by just little things like this. Little things like that. I wonder how long that took. I mean, that had to take like an entire, like a half a day maybe, an entire night. That's a lot right there for just those little seconds right there. Pretty cool. Now, I just love that kind of shit. Just love that. And I love this kind of shit too because we have Evil Dead Burn that's coming out on July 24th, 2026. I don't know why it's coming out. I don't know why it's coming out on July 24th of next year. I mean, it just seems like when you have horror movies, why are we putting them during the summer? I don't know about this movie might get buried next year. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe not. I don't even know I'm trying to remember exactly what's all coming out in July. But they did this little tease right here for Evil Dead Burn, which is basically a behind the scenes of some character just totally just smashing probably a Deadite's head. And it just keeps going, and going. It's Somebody yell cut. He's getting tired.
Take one.
So yeah, Evil Dead burn right there. But again, I'm just that release date, July 24th. I don't know. Just horror movies should be fucking, it should be around October. It should be in the fall. It should be around that time, spooky season. Why are we gonna put? I know Evil Dead is like a renowned franchise. I love it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite horror franchise. And I'm looking forward to this. Anything Evil Dead, I'm all about it. But I'm just kind of going July 24th for that. To me, that just seems like no. Doesn't seem like a good release date. It really just doesn't seem like a good release date for that. But hey, what can you do? I'm not part of the studio. What can you do? But hey, did you guys see that when it came to the Academy Museum Gala, when that's all been happening for like, I don't know, it seems like it's been happening for this whole Academy Museum thing or whatever the hell that's been going on, where celebrities are just getting out on a red carpet looking all weird and awkward and all that stuff, and that celebrity worship thing is happening. Well, we got Kim Kardashian right here talking about her pubic underwear. Did you know that Kim Kardashian has made specific underwear that has, pubic hair on it? Did you guys see this? Did you guys see that? Is for her Skims, clothing line or something like that? Well, here she is talking about that very thing. And, of course, she's looking just ravishing like that.
Let's talk about the new...
What the fuck is this?
The underwear line.
The underwear line. Let's talk about that. She can't even see you right now. She could barely breathe.
That was just a fun idea.
Like, what are we doing here, people? Like, what exactly are we doing here?
Have hair down there once, and I was like, couldn't this just be easy and have it on a thong?
Yeah, why not?
I had no idea that it would be...
It's sold out.
A reaction and would sell out.
It's sold out.
In a few minutes.
Who are these people? Who are these people buying this shit? And you're buying it from her, who's wearing like a knapsack over her head? Are they gonna transfer her and then cuff her to like a folding chair in the middle of a warehouse? Is that what's gonna happen next? She literally had to be helped on the red carpet because she could barely fucking see through that. What is going... Wait, what the... She had a sex tape. How did she get to this point? I don't know. It just doesn't... Oh, man, I tell you. I don't know. I just like, who made this woman famous? Ray J? And it's just like, wait a minute. I mean, I can understand. I can understand why her and Kanye got together, right? God. But yeah, there she is with a knapsack over her head. Maybe she had an outbreak. Maybe that's what was going on. She had an outbreak. She couldn't contain it. Had a little bit of an outbreak. So she was like, I'm just going to cover my entire face. So maybe that's what happened. And she was like, it's just people just like think it's a stylish thing. But yeah, talking about her pubic underwear. Anyways, it's so weird. Oh, we live in weird times. Like I said, the aliens should just show up. The aliens should just show up and do all that. What else we got? Oh, yeah. I didn't realize he said the thing. Cameron Monaghan, he said the thing. He did say the thing. I talked about it last week when it came to TRON Ares and the fact that Cameron Monaghan got really screwed. He got pretty screwed over when it came to TRON Ares. He prepped. He got in shape. He did a lot of fight choreography for months to play whatever character. I don't even know what the character he was playing in TRON Ares, but he did show his training videos, which he was like, oh, that would have been cool to see. But of course, if you blinked when you watched TRON Ares, you wouldn't have seen him because he was there for about 4.5 seconds. But it was kind of funny because people were pointing out, the fact that Jared Leto is kind of box office poison slightly, and naturally people are always going to take the meme that was for Morbius, the Morbin time. Cameron Monaghan said, it's Troning time. Pretty funny. And then look at the look on his face. That's the look on your face when you've done a lot of physical prep for months to only get your scenes completely cut out. Ugh. Yeah, man, they screwed him over, dude. They screwed him over. Sad. To me, that's just sad. It's just sad. Just very sad. I don't know why, Again, I actually watched the first TRON on Saturday after I got back home from my dad's Halloween party. I decided to put TRON on, the original TRON, and I'm just watching it, just kind of going. Still, it still mesmerizes me because it's 1982, which is which is crazy. And by the way, I'm like the same age as the dude who plays Dillinger in that. What's his name? I can't remember his name, but and I went like, holy crap, that's funny. When you do that now, and when you go, wow, geez, I'm the same age as this actor was when they made this movie. Kind of like blows your mind a little bit. Anyways, but I was watching it, and I'm like, even today, even watching that today, it's still pretty miraculous. Yeah, I mean, it's a little glitchy. It's not completely polished, but that's what makes it look so good. And there was a lot of meat on that bone. There was a lot there. And how did Disney knew fuck all what to do with the Tron franchise? I mean, obviously, we're going to be talking about the box office again, and we're going to see the huge box office drop that Tron Ares. Tron Ares is just full on bombing at the box office. But it's just like there's so much there when it comes to that franchise. And it's just like, Tron Legacy was a good follow-up, but it was almost 30 years later, which is crazy. It was a good follow-up. And Tron Ares, Tron Legacy, right? Did I say the wrong one? Tron Legacy was a good follow-up. And then, of course, we have 15 years later until we get this one. And it's like Tron Ares, I just describe it as, a really cool music video that had a weak plot, in my opinion. I thought there was just more on the bone that they could have really done, but I thought the plot was pretty generic and weak, but I thought everything else looked great. The VFX, the cinematography, the music, it was all great. But, maybe they could do a extended cut. Oh yeah, that's right. Cillian Murphy was in Tron Legacy. I need to watch Tron Legacy again. I meant to watch it last night, but it was already too late, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch it. But I need to rewatch Tron Legacy. I'll probably rewatch it this weekend or something. So, Henry Cavill. Now, naturally, obviously, we'll talk a little bit more about the Henry Cavill thing, when it comes to what Zach has been posting. But I saw this right here. And, I follow this account called Amir Han, and, this account is pretty cool because it gives you like a little bit of movie knowledge, and I've talked about it before, and I've talked about it too when it came to, sometimes it's not fully accurate, I guess you could say. There's times where I go, I don't know if that's quite accurate, like when it was talking about Zack Snyder and what he actually wanted to do initially when it came to, he wanted to do Man of Steel 2 and Brainiac, but Warner Brothers wanted, wanted more of the extension of the universe, and it would have had, the claim was from sources that Zack wanted to have Man of Steel 2 with Brainiac and then a post-credit scene that teased Batman, and that wasn't actually the case because Zack doesn't do post-credit scenes, and it was his idea, full-on idea, that he wanted to incorporate Batman. But right here, it's kind of interesting because they're talking about Henry Cavill. Talking about Henry Cavill right here. Talking about Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill used to be called the unluckiest man in Hollywood by magazines. He lost out on Bond to Daniel Craig. Superman Returns to Brandon Routh. Edward Cullen to Robert Pattinson. Then Man of Steel happened and the curse was broken. Was it though? Was it? I mean, I think it was broken for a little bit, and then the curse kind of came back in a different way. Where, yes, he got the Superman role. He did get the Superman role. But then fuckery started happening with the studio. And, of course, he was trying his best to hold on to that Superman role and fought against, the dickheads that were running Warner Brothers in the late 2010s. And then just never really got his opportunity to. There should have been at least two Superman movies with Henry Cavill in that span between when Justice League came out until basically till I guess you could say even Black Adam came out. And then he finally comes back and announces that he's back as Superman for Black Adam to only get that taken away from him yet again. And it's just like, good Lord. And then all of a sudden, the Witcher thing, he's not going to be doing The Witcher anymore because of creative differences. Apparently, there was some butting of heads when it came to behind the scenes because he wanted to remain true to the source material. They wanted to do other things. I guess it just wasn't fully gelling. I don't know. But it's just kind of like, yeah, it seems like the curse has kind of lingered back a little bit in a way where he has these roles and then he's lost these roles. In the span of like, what, a year, 2 years? He re-lost Superman and then The Witcher as well. And it's like, wow, it just kind of sucks because you're just going like, and then when I posted this too, saying that happened, people were like, yeah, what was the last time that Henry Cavill actually had like a big role that people, and some people were saying like, well, he had, Enola Holmes, but he wasn't the The Star. I still haven't watched those movies yet. I got to check those out. I hear they're pretty good. I know he had the Warfare one, the Guy Ritchie movie, but that didn't really go anywhere. I think we're gonna have hopefully a Henry Cavill assance that's gonna happen. Hopefully when it comes to at least the Highlander reboot, but. Look what happened. He freaking apparently I think he broke or shattered his freaking ankle. So he's out for the count right now. But yeah, it just seems like there's a little bit of a curse. I mean, yeah, people talk about there's that Superman curse. There's a little bit of a Superman curse where the Superman actors don't exactly, after they leave the role, it's hard to get roles again. And I'm really hoping that Henry Cavill does not suffer that Superman curse. It seems like he's not. It seems like he's really trying his best to not have that curse and trying to do all he can. I don't know what he's trying to put on, dousing himself with herbs and spices, garlic and shit, taking weird baths. I don't know if he's trying to trying to wash away the Superman curse, because if you think about it, yeah, I mean, Christopher Reeve really couldn't shake off Superman. Dean Cain. I mean, yeah, that's what he's best known for. He did a lot of B movies after it. I'm not saying he's not successful. Neither, Christopher Reeve was also successful, but Brandon Routh, he was, he didn't really, his stardom didn't go crazy. You got Tyler Hoechlin. Is he gonna, is that gonna happen? I don't know. And then, now we have David Cornsweet, which David Cornsweet's probably got that in the back of his head because it is a known thing, that Superman curse, I guess you could say. But I guess you could say it's all suspicion and whatever. I don't know. Hopefully the Warhammer movie does come out too, but yeah, it was just kind of interesting. I forgot that he actually tried to be Edward in the Twilight series. He did audition for that. Still think he would have been an excellent Bond. And speaking of auditions, I did not consider this guy for Reed Richards in Fantastic Four, and then I went, oh shit, this could have probably worked. Nothing against Pedro Pascal. I'm just saying, I think we just have a little bit of Pedro fatigue. That's all. Pedro is everywhere, and of course he's Disney's darling. Naturally, so when his name was being talked about when it came to Reed Richards, naturally people were like, oh yeah, he's most likely going to get it. But how about Tom Ellis? That's right. Lucifer star Tom Ellis confirmed that he auditioned to play the role of Reed Richards before it was given to Pedro Pascal, according to SquareMile.com. I honestly think he would have done a really good job. I mean, obviously, he's got the look for it. He's got that Reed Richards look. He could have totally pulled off that. And yeah, I think he could have. I just never would have considered Tom Ellis as that. So be interesting. Would have been interesting. And then speaking of Fantastic Four, we got Ralph Ineson, who played Galactus. We got a little behind the scenes. And we got him in full-on costume and makeup. And I'm telling you, Galactus was the shit when it came to Fantastic Four. I thought they did a really great job with the design. I think the design was pretty damn awesome. Look at that shit. Really awesome. And then, then to have to make him look like, obviously a giant. It's just pretty insane. But yeah, look at that costume. That thing was detailed as all hell, man. Just absolutely good stuff. Look at those boots. Look at them boots. Love that shit. Love seeing that, but that's the thing. I love the fact that how practical it was. They could have just done VFX, but no. They decided to do something very practical with Galactus. And then yes, guys, I brought back my little solo podcast that I was doing for a bit. I hadn't done it in a while, but on Sundays I would just hit record and just start talking shit. And I'd post it on Patreon. And I wouldn't post it on YouTube or anywhere else, but maybe eventually I will. I don't know. But I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring that back. And I'm going to title it The Sunday Evening Hangover. I used to do streaming where I called it The Sunday Morning Hangover, where I'd stream at like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'd just be sipping coffee and whatever. It was fun. And then, but it's just, now I'm like, I stream too much. I'm trying to get a good balance of streaming. But I decided to bring back at least the, this little pod thing where it's just, all it is voice. It's just audio. And then it's funny too, because, so I tweeted it out, and then I had my phone, I had Gemini take an image of me, and I said, put it in the 16-bit filter, and it made me look like, well, either Pedro Pascal or Mark Maron. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that really made my hair look pretty good. And then it put a green collared shirt on me. I don't know why. I was wearing just a plain t-shirt in the thing, but, looked kind of cool. But it was just kind of funny. I'm like, okay, turning me into Mark Maron right there. And then somebody was like, oh, yeah, you look like Pedro Pascal almost. Pretty funny. Anyways, hey, yo. I play Rocky. Kind of curious. I'm kind of curious about this movie. This movie, is it a movie or it might be a series? I don't know. I think it's a movie or it might be a series. I don't know. But we have Anthony Ippolito, who is playing Sylvester Stallone in the movie. I think it's a movie. It's about Sylvester Stallone making the movie Rocky. So naturally they had to cast somebody to, be Sylvester Stallone. And I think they did a pretty good job. Look at that shot right there. We got him with the beanie on, with the sweats on. And I didn't have the full image. He's got a dog on the beach and everything. So, but I mean, the dude looks like a young Sylvester Stallone right there. I think they did pretty good with the casting. I'm just kind of wondering about the voice. How are they going to do the voice? Because the interesting things when it comes to like these, when it comes to playing certain characters, it's like when you have a distinct voice. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of people who do impressions, but you do like an over the top kind of impression. You don't really want to do that when you're doing like a biopic, because the biopic's supposed to be serious. So if like this guy's going like, hey yo, what's going, do it, yeah, it's just not going to work. People are not going to take that seriously. That's why I even said that and I guess it's not happening anymore. But remember when Jamie Foxx was supposed to play Mike Tyson in a biopic? Like he was getting all in super shape to play Mike Tyson. And then I went, okay, I've heard Jamie Foxx do the funny version of Mike Tyson, do an impression, because Jamie Foxx does awesome impressions. But I'm going, he can't do that when he's doing the biopic. Unless it's a comedy, you can't do the over the top. Yeah, it's what I'm talking. You have to bring it down a little bit, because people aren't going to take it seriously if you're going over the top with the impression. So I'm kind of wondering what he's going to sound like. Is he going to just have a little bit? You're just going to have a little bit. So just a little bit. You don't have to do the over the top. Just have it bring it down a little bit. Just emphasize little things. Just do that kind of stuff. That's what you got to do. You just can't go over the top. So that's what's going to be interesting, and that's what I'm kind of looking forward to when the trailer first comes out, because I want to hear how he does the voice. And son of a biscuit, why? Why? Well, then again, who knows? This could just be Charlie Cox doing an Andrew Garfield, but yes, according to Charlie Cox, guys, he's not in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And here he is talking with Brandon Davis right here at New York Comic Con.
Well, I don't read anything, so I don't know. I don't know what they know.
You watch your own show.
I know that they all think I'm in Spider-Man because I'm filming something in London, which I'm not.
Not in Spider-Man.
I'm not in Spider-Man.
Well, then I have to follow. Are you an Avenger? So...
No. I'm just concentrating on DD right now.
I don't know if I believe it, but we'll
Alright,
find
so
out.
what is it?
I like how Brandon Davis was like, I don't know if I believe you. Yeah, because we shouldn't. He could be doing the whole the wolf thing. But there he is saying that, yeah, no, I'm not in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm not in Avengers Doomsday. What are you in? No, I'm just focusing on DD. He's just focusing on the double Ds. That's right. Who isn't, right? Anyways, but I'm just saying he's focusing on Daredevil Season 2, which should be good, but I'm just kind of going, I think he might show up in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think he is. I don't know about you, but I think he is. Yeah, he's got to be, right? He's really got to be. I guess time will tell. Disney, what the F are you doing? We don't know what you're doing over there, especially this year, because let's face it, Disney is not the top dog this year, which is kind of nice to see, because hopefully it'll be a wake-up call. Hopefully it will be a wake-up call to be like, hey, you realize you're kind of just effing up some of your franchises here, okay? You just released Tron Ares, which you knew fuck all what to do in the past 43 years when it came to that franchise, and now look at it. It's just like dead in the water when there was a lot of meat on that bone that you could have already been dealing with. It could have been one of the really big franchises out there instead of just like this little cult franchise or whatever the hell, you know? And it just kind of sucks. And then when it comes to Star Wars, I mean, a lot of people have been complaining a lot about Star Wars under Disney. And it's kind of crazy because, 10 years ago, a decade ago, the very first Force Awakens trailer debuted. Remember how crazy that was? Remember how exciting that was when that trailer hit online? Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was like, oh my God, Star Wars is back. And then after a decade where it was like, after that movie, because like Force Awakens had a good balance of old and new. They had a good balance, nostalgia, and then new characters, and I thought they did a good job. And then all of a sudden they're like, they didn't really have a plan. The Rian Johnson Last Jedi, that was a discourse, and then of course Rise of Skywalker was a mess. Rogue One, I like Rogue One. I like Rogue One a lot, actually, even though that was kind of chopped up and weird and everything. And then there was a lot of other things. Solo didn't really work. And then the shows, some of the shows worked, some of them didn't or anything like that. But now we have Adam Driver right here revealing that they had an idea that probably would have worked fairly well. And I'm just kind of going, what are you doing, you fucking mouse? Adam Driver reveals that he was developing a new Star Wars movie, The Hunt for Ben Solo, with Steven Soderbergh. Was set after The Rise of Skywalker. Lucasfilm loved the idea, but Disney said no. They didn't see how Ben Solo was alive. So let me get this straight. The Disney execs were like, wait, he died. He's dead. How is that even going to be possible? Palpatine came back for some fucking reason in Rise of Skywalker. You're telling me that there couldn't have been a good idea to explain that, hey, Ben Solo... How many times have people died and they come back? It just happens. Are you kidding me? And a lot of people are moaning and groaning about this because you know why? People wanted to see more Ben Solo, okay? Kylo Ren was annoying but also kind of intriguing throughout the trilogy. And then finally, he goes good, and then we get a combination of like a Jedi and a Han and a Solo, like kind of thing, like a Skywalker and Solo together, obviously, his parents. So you get a Han Solo type, because remember at the end of Rise of Skywalker when Ben was just effing dudes up, and he was like acting like his dad, kind of like I love that part when he gets the lightsaber from Rey, he gets, forces it over, and then he pulls it out, and then he does that whole like, and then he just starts effing him up. And I'm just kind of going, wait a minute. There's something here. Are you telling me that we've waited until the last 15 minutes to see this Ben Solo? What the hell? And then he dies? What the fuck? I mean, that was just like, no. There needs to be like a whole movie on this guy. And apparently there was at one point. Adam Driver, what the shit? He was working on something. With Steven Soderbergh, which is interesting. Would Soderbergh have directed it? That could have been something. Too. I don't know. Man. Missed opportunity, Disney. What the fuck are you doing? Anyways, rant over. That was the best part of Rise of Skywalker is when he finally shook off the stupid Kylo Ren thing, and then he was Ben Solo. He was great. But Palpatine returned somehow. Ryan Coogler, X-Files reboot. Okay, so I being an X-Files fan, and we've talked about it many times in the Vodka stream, I'm all about the X-Files, love the X-Files. I love it, I watch the revival stuff, everything. and am all about more X-Files. And when I heard that Ryan Coogler was going to be doing like a revamped series, a rebooted series, I went, okay, cool. That's fine. Ryan Coogler, I mean, he's earned all of our respects when it comes to his writing and his movies and everything. Very much so. And I think, especially when it came to Sinners this year. But obviously he's going to be handling this. And then this is kind of nice. This is kind of like aw, well, now I appreciate this. Ryan Coogler says he signed on to develop the X-Files reboot because his mom is a big fan of the original series. I want to do it right by her and the fans. My mom has read some of the stuff I wrote for it. She's fired up. W right there, man. So you got Mama Coogler right there. Totally an X-Files fan. And he wants to do it for mom. That's cool. I really love that. So hopefully, just having that a little bit, I'm like, you know what? There could be hopefully something there. If he's trying to do it, if he's doing it for, he's got his mom in mind and his mom is looking at some of the stuff he's written, I could be okay with that. I could definitely be okay with that. And then, of course, the Black Phone 2 came out this past weekend, which I saw it and I really enjoyed it. Some people didn't, which was kind of interesting because they didn't like the approach that it took. And that's always going to be the case when it comes to sequels. But Scott Derrickson was asked about, is he going to be, planning on doing a third movie? And this is what he had to say, and these were actually really good words from Scott Derrickson. Scott Derrickson on his attitude towards making more Black Phone sequels. There's really no justification for making a sequel unless you are genuinely attempting to make a film that's better than the first movie you're making a sequel to. If you're going to make a third one, it needs to be better than the second one, which is better than the first one. Very few films do that. And he's absolutely correct. How many times has the third one been a fucking shitter? It's funny when like the second one is like, holy shit, they did it, they capitalized, and then all of a sudden the third one is like the drop off. Not for everything, Dark Knight, but the Dark Knight trilogy, some people would 100% say that. Batman Begins and the Dark Knight are like, whoa, and then all of a sudden people go, yeah, and then there's Dark Knight Returns, which is meh. But there's been other times where, I would say the Die Hard trilogy, I would say the second one is the weakest one, and the other two are better for sure, but I don't know. I think it's, I'm kind of wondering if there is going to be a third one. I don't know where he's going to take it. Some people were suggesting that he should do a prequel and be like, why did the grabber become the grabber? What happened? Do a prequel and talk about the grabber and why Ethan Hawke's character is how he is. Because you do get more of a backstory in the Black Phone 2 about that character, but who knows? Who knows? All right. And then finally, Jesus Christ, this woman right here, holy crap. I'm just like, at first, I was like, I didn't know, when it came to Amelia Alcock, I went, all right, I don't know who this is. And I was just like going, okay, when it came to Game of Thrones, that's really what a lot of people were, when she got cast as Supergirl, people were like, oh yeah, it's the girl from Game of Thrones that has like that evil kind of look on her face and whatever, and she just had that people call it resting bitch face, that whole thing. And I was just kind of going, oh, maybe that'll work. I don't know. But obviously she was much younger then. She's grown up, and that face card is, well, yeah, looking pretty beautiful. This is, of course, when it comes to the whole Academy Museum thing. She attended that too. But I'm just kind of going like, all right. She definitely got that face card going. Looking pretty beautiful right here. And the fact that she is now, I think the movie that she was just recently in was like her first like kind of starring role. And yeah, so Supergirl is going to be a huge step up too, which is going to be very interesting how that movie does. And if that, parlays her career a little bit. And of course, her playing that character in that way where she is, of course, when it comes to Woman of Tomorrow, it's going to be, but man, I was just like, when I saw these images of her from this past weekend, I went, whoa. She just is getting beautiful, like more beautiful as the freaking time goes by here, man. But there you go. She is definitely got a face. She's got that face card, as the kids say. The face card is there. You know, before when she was little, it was like a resting bitch face, you know, when it came to Game of Thrones and stuff like that. But man, now that she's grown into a woman and a lovely young woman, she is like, I'm like, wow, okay. Look at her go. All right, that's it, guys. That's it when it comes to the tweets. I don't mean to swoon over Millie Alcock, but hey, kind of hard not to with that image right there. But all right, let's get started right here. Like I said, there's not, you know, DCU news is going to be few and far between. A lot, because, you know, that's just the way it's going to be, because we have to wait for that Lanterns. We have to wait for that Lanterns trailer, and hopefully we get that trailer next month or soon. God knows when we're going to actually be getting this this Lanterns trailer. But so we got a couple of things here. First off, so now, you know, I gotta yell my thing out, because you know how I do it, because I post like a little recap for tomorrow. So I gotta do the thing, guys. I gotta do the thing. DCU news recap. There you go. Gotta say it for the quick recap for, you know, when I post a video tomorrow. For the people who don't want to hear me talk for an hour and 35 minutes, that's the way it is. You guys are awesome though. You guys appreciate me talking for you know, way longer than I should. But let's first talk about the Batgirl movie. That's right, the Batgirl movie. Release the Batgirl movie. Is that still going to happen? Well, we got Jacob Scapio, who was in the movie. He was interviewed recently, and this is what he had to say about the possibility of the Batgirl movie coming out. He remains optimistic that Batgirl could eventually be released. I got the chance to watch it, and it was a phenomenal film. I'm really sad the world never got to see it, so there's always hope, and I think if enough people want it, it can happen. Can it, though? I mean, I want to see it. I would love to see it. I'm one of those that, even if it's a rough cut, hey, fucking put it out there. Why not? I want to see what those guys were cooking, because, you know, they did good with the Bad Boys movies. They also did good when it came to Miss Marvel. I think they have a unique style, and it would have been interesting to see that style added to a superhero movie like this that had Michael Keaton's Batman. But that's the sad fact of the matter is it was basically, the story works because of all the crazy weird multiverse stuff that was happening in The Flash. And then, of course, that was going to lead to a crisis event because Walter Hamada thought he had some kind of plan, but in actuality, he really didn't have a plan. He didn't really have a plan, and they already said it was going to be written off for a tax write-off, so I don't think there's any possibility that this movie is ever going to come out. I don't know. Like, again, it's always funny because, you know, the Snyder Cut thing was just like such a unique phenomenon that actually happened. So then naturally there's people out there that just think like anything could be a possibility. But the sad fact of the matter is the Snyder Cut during that time getting released just made sense. It made sense. It totally made sense business-wise. When it comes to something like this, it wouldn't make sense business-wise. As much as I want to see it and would love for it to actually come out, it just doesn't make sense business-wise now. Just like sometimes when we've talked about it too, and again, this is why I like talking to Willem, because he really dives into like business-wise, because he runs a business, a comic book business, and it's just the fact of the matter of, yeah, could that even come out? Could Batgirl actually come out? And it's like, no, not even like the Ayer cut makes sense business-wise, because the movie that did come out made money. So why are you going to need another version again when you have this other universe? There's a whole bunch of things when it comes to that. The Schumacher cut, same thing. People still loved, and Batman Forever made a bunch of money back when it came out. So why do we need to spend money to give this other version? But I mean, but you never know. I don't know. But it just seems like when it comes to Batgirl, it's just, I don't think Batgirl's actually, out of the Batgirl movie, the Ayer cut, and the Schumacher cut, the Batgirl movie makes the least amount of sense to actually come out. I mean, sad to say, because I just don't see that doing so much, you know, when it comes to all this. So I hear my brother clapping, so I'm gonna here. Let me see. I gotta see the Mariners score right now. I gotta see the score of the game. 3-1. Oh, wait, what? Wait, what are you doing here? Refresh. It's 3-1. 3-1 Mariners. All right, cool. Ooh, buddy. See if the Mariners pull it off, man. And the Lions are winning too. Okay. Yeah, that's right. There's two things happening. Luckily, I'm already winning my fantasy football game. I made some really great decisions. With my fantasy football, get this, guys, all right, for you. Okay, so just a little brief fantasy football talk right here. I don't know if I talked about it on the Vox stream. I think I talked about it in my little podcast last night. Like, again, subscribe to the, if you want to help out the channel and get a little extra, and get a little extra pod action. Anyways, but, so with my fantasy football, I have Josh Allen as my quarterback, and I didn't have a backup. I totally forgot to get a backup, so he was on a bye this week. And so on Thursday, when I'm heading to the Jimmy Carr show, I'm looking at my phone going, oh shit, I need to get a quarterback. So I look and see who's available, and I see Aaron fucking Rodgers. And for some reason, I just had this feeling. I'm like, okay, he's going up against the Bengals. He's going up against the other old man in the league, Mr. Joe Flacco. And I went, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a good game. And sure enough, he did. They still lost, but Aaron Rodgers gave me 30.5 points. And I'm like, boom, boom. And then I picked up the Cleveland Browns defense, but they were going up against the Dolphins. Smart, 18 points. So I made some good decisions on fantasy football. Sorry, that was my fantasy football talk right there. Just had to bring that up. Superman Nielsen ratings. I know, we keep on talking about views and all this stuff, but again, that's what everybody's talking about. I mean, that's the thing. I know Jose was like saying like, everybody's like obsessed with the views, and of course he's on the side because he didn't like Superman, and I'm just going, yeah, well, that side is more obsessed with saying that it was a huge disaster than it is, than it actually was a success or whatever the hell. But yeah, the Nielsen ratings when it came to September 15th to the 21st, when it came to movies that were released then, it did come in fourth because, you got, I don't even know what Ice Road Vengeance actually is. But K-pop Demon Hunters, that thing, again, I showed you guys the fact that the Halloween trending costumes, the top 5 work characters of K-pop Demon Hunters. This movie is just taking the world by storm. It's kind of interesting. I have no idea what Ice Road Vengeance is, but apparently that was number 2 during this time period. And then when it came to Elio, which was Pixar's bomb, that came out during this time it was 3rd. And then, of course, you have 4th when it comes to Superman. Pretty interesting. And then The Wrong Paris, Lilo and Stitch, 28 years later. Moving on. Yeah. And then, of course, Working Man ratting up the top. And again, it's just like one of those things. It's one of those things where we're never going to fully know everything. Like when it comes to Samba TV, that's also a thing that measures things. But at the same time, Samba TV really only measures the streaming when it comes to smart TVs. It doesn't really do like computers, gaming consoles, phones, and tablets. It doesn't really measure those. It specifically measures, and we talked about this many times before. We talked about this when the Snyder Cut numbers came out, and we were trying to figure all that out. And then, of course, sometimes those things were, they're a little bit low. And then, of course, back then, there were people that were saying like, oh, yeah, but Samba is not reliable. Of course, now that it's Superman or Peacemaker, it's like, look at how shitty they did or something like that. Of course, you know how it is. People are just massive hypocrites. But, that's just what happens. And I even, when it came to Peacemaker, I even looked it up too, where basically it was doing well, and it got to the point where it would like reach like over 700,000 for like the one episode, and then it took a 36% dip. And I think it was mainly because I think people were kind of going, oh, it's woke. You know how people are. Some people just like, oh, they did the whole Nazi thing. I don't want to do that. I think that had a little bit to do with it because apparently the finale from the previous episode, which, the previous episode, it was, I guess that was when the full reveal, but the previous episode to the finale, it had a 36% drop, at least when it came to that little, from week to week. It had a 36% drop when it came to Peacemaker. It doesn't mean Peacemaker was also a flop. I'm just saying that Peacemaker did suffer like a little bit of a drop. That's what according to Samba TV though, and again, they're only measuring smart TVs. So when you see a Nielsen, I guess, they try to cover all bases. And, from September 15th to the 21st, Superman came in number 4. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Like I said, Superman, you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. It wasn't a huge success, but it wasn't a fucking bomb. It wasn't a flop, as we always say. Right? And then, you know what's interesting too, to keep on some DC stuff, you know, like you have After the Hunt, which is, of course, Luca Guadagnino's. I always say his name wrong. But, you know, Luca. You know who Luca is. He had a new movie that came out called After the Hunt that came out. And guess what he had? Like, you have Julia Roberts walking out of a liquor store. And you actually had some DC stuff in here. You had Superman, and I forgot, it's like that one Superman. It's a different kind of Superman. But he also had Sergeant Rock. So I'm kind of wondering what happened right there, because it seems like Luca was really set on directing that Sergeant Rock movie. I mean, it's very interesting. He was wearing the DC Studios gear and everything. And I'm kind of wondering if that's ever going to be on there. But yeah, there was like a little Easter egg in that movie that showed that. So pretty cool. Whoa, what's going on? We got Joanne.tv. Let's see. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I was scrolling through HBO Max and they completely removed Justice League. It made me laugh. Good. As they should. Get rid of that abomination. Ugh. And thank you again for the $5 super chat. Man, it's about time. I hate it when I still see that. When I open up HBO Max and I would still see Justice, I'm like, why? Why even have that? Nobody, and probably nobody was watching that. If anybody's going to watch it, they're going to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. And what's convenient, too, is they don't have to watch it all in one sitting. That's what's so cool about that. You can watch it in multiple sittings if you want to. There's plenty of there, so... But, yeah. So there's a little Easter egg right there. And, you know, and that's pretty much it when it comes to DC news. That is pretty much it. Yeah. And then, of course, we'll get to more stuff. All right. Let's move on to Spider-Man Brand New Day. All right. Well, I remember, like, when we got like a butt ton of Spider-Man Brand New Day set photos and videos when they first started shooting, and it was great. It was great to see because the costume looked gorgeous, the shots look great, and it's, again, Marvel Studios just doing the good thing as they do, is when they actually go, hey, yeah, we're shooting outside, let professional photographers take some images and put them online to build up the hype, and that's exactly what they've been doing. Obviously, it's also Sony as well that is doing it. But there's been plenty of things right here. Let's see. We got this shot right here. Who wants to see some Spidey ass? There you go. You got some Spidey ass right there. I don't know if that's Tom Holland right there. I'm looking at Unbox PhD. He's the one that's I don't know how this guy was getting. This guy was or this person, I don't even know if it's a guy or they go by a guy. You know how it is. I don't know if this person, you know, how they're getting it, but I remember they got the Supergirl like set photos and videos. So we got some stuff like that. And then we got some video right here. I'm pretty sure that's Tom Holland's stuntman that's on the cables right there, but why are you putting that over that? Jesus Christ, copyright. But then you got Tom Holland right there rocking some sweatpants. But yeah, I was just looking at his. We don't know who exactly this person is, this actress. So people were kind of wondering, like, who is she? Very interesting. And then, of course, we got more Tom Holland action right here. Looks like he's about to, like, thwip up somewhere. We got some firefighters. And we got some, some extras, I guess. I don't know if this is taking place at, like an MIT thing. Who is that right there? Do you recognize that face? Whose face is that? Well, there he is. Yeah, that is a Bruce Banner face right there, it looks like. Why is his face all beat up? That's interesting, intriguing. But yeah, it's looking like that's Mark Ruffalo right here. It looks like Mark Ruffalo. It is Mark Ruffalo. It's been confirmed that he has been on this set. This particular shoot right here is Mark Ruffalo. But... you know, that's interesting. Why is he all beat up? But that's what he said right there. Exclusive! Mark Ruffalo is on the Spider-Man. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with that. So, and then you got Spectrum News, do all the things. And there's Sadie Sink right here. Sadie Sink. She's also on set. There's a director, Mr. Cretton right there. So that's cool. And then, of course, there's that lady again that we don't know exactly who it is. Not even the he knows who that is. But yeah, can't deny. I mean, maybe it's not him. Watch it not be Mark Ruffalo, but it looks like it's Mark Ruffalo. It definitely does. And then you got, I don't know what's going on here. Why Tom Holland is now all of a sudden wearing just regular clothes? Is that Peter Parker? Is that his Peter Parker drip right there? Maybe. Could be. I don't know. Some more Spidey stuff. God, that costume looks so good. And then Sadie Sink right there as well. You see that red hair. And that's pretty much it, at least when it comes to that. I don't think there's anything more. Yeah, it's pretty much all he's posted right there. Oh, okay. Interesting. I was just looking at something. What the hell is he looking at right here? Our clients have been taking a long lease over the relevant plot over the exclusive. Oh, okay, so he's just looking at. Interesting. Okay. This guy gets all like into the thick of things, but anyways, yeah, you don't like Mark Ruffalo? Mark Ruffalo, yeah, he's fine. I liked him in the first Avengers, and then after a bit, I was kind of, I didn't, Age of Ultron and further on, it just hasn't been all the greatest. But hey, it's whatever. It's fine. It's whatever. But hopefully, he gets back into the kind of Hulk. I don't like Smart Hulk. I don't like Professor Hulk. I really didn't like Professor Hulk all that much. In Endgame, I thought that was a little too cheeseball. But there you go. There's your Spider-Man Brand New Day. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I see what you're saying there, Arkham. I see what you're saying. I know you got the preface like, fuck Joss Whedon, but hey. Yeah, She-Hulk was that whole series. I think there was like one episode that I really liked, but overall I did not like She-Hulk. But box office, let's talk about the box office. And naturally we had the Black Phone 2 come out. We also had Good Fortune, the Seth Rogen and Keanu Reeves Aziz Ansari movie. And well, they tried, and they definitely tried, but the Black Phone 2, of course, was the champion of the box office this weekend, and it grossed $27.3 million. That's about $4 million more than the first one, domestic. And then overall, it sits at $41 million. So not too shabby for a sequel to a small movie. I'm sure the budget is more because, there's a little bit more effects that they had to use. And when it came to the Black Phone 2, but the fact of the matter is the Black Phone 2 takes place in one location, so I'm sure the budget was still relatively low. And I wouldn't be surprised if they've already made the budget back. At least they've made the production budget. They still have to make more back, obviously, because sharing with distributors and all this kind of stuff. So I do love the fact that it made a good amount right there. So pretty good. And then we got Tron Ares. Yep, second week, it had a 66.6% drop. Jesus! 666. That's no good. And right now, it sits there at $103 million. I think it costs, $180 million to make? They're saying that Tron Ares is probably going to lose Disney like $120 million. No good. That's because Disney don't know what the fuck to do with that franchise, man. And then Good Fortune, it didn't have the good fortune of releasing internationally. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but it only made $6.1 million domestic, and that's it. So I don't know how much that movie cost. I'm guessing this movie probably had a budget of $20 million, something like that. I don't know. One battle after another keeps on keeping on, even though this movie costs $140 million, so it's still going to lose Warner Brothers money, even though this movie just seems to be getting some good word of mouth, and it's probably going to get award season buzz. I don't know. So, 163, and then to round it off, we had Roofman that came out last week. It's at 17.7. I actually wanted to see this movie. I'm going to have to catch it when it comes out. And I can't imagine this movie had a high budget really at all. But I know a lot of people really dug this movie, so. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Pets on a Train. I saw the poster for that this weekend, and I was like, what the hell is that? Apparently it came out this weekend. No idea. So yeah, there's your box office. Man, Tron Ares, man. I just had a feeling. I think a lot of us had a feeling that... When I saw the trailer, I was like, trailer's cool. I'm glad there's new music from Nine Inch Nails, but I just had a feeling, I'm like, there's nobody... People aren't hyped for Tron. People are just not hyped for Tron. Tron should already have like 12 movies. There should be like, between 1982 till now, this should have been like the fucking 12th movie. It should have been like Star Wars. Maybe not that many movies, but hey, there's a lot of meat on that bone that they could have really had there. I tell you, they really could have just had something there. But I don't know. It's sad because I just think it's such a unique franchise. It's a really unique franchise, and it sucks. Anyways, all right. Let's talk about Zachary Snyder. That's right. Zack Snyder, you know what's been happening naturally when it comes to Zach posting things from his camera. I'm posting things on Instagram. Actually, let's go to his Instagram right here. I was going to pull it up because, let's not just look at, some of the recent stuff. Obviously, the DC stuff is what's driving people batshit fucking crazy. But, there's been other things, too. Not just that. Obviously, there's been so much. If you look at Zach's Instagram page right here. It's just full of beautiful images, beautiful freaking images. I love the ones of him like holding the camera, doing his thing, being the cinematographer. And then, of course, he doesn't just post things from DC. He posts this from Sucker Punch right here of Emily Browning. That's a pretty good shot right there. You got to love that. Release the Sucker Punch. What is it? Release the Sucker Cut? Release the Snyder Punch. That's what it is. The Snyder Punch. Couldn't remember. We got Warshak right here. It's not like he's just posting, but every now and again he's gonna find one of these images that he posted. We've already seen these on Vero, by the way. We've seen these on Vero. But of course, naturally, on Friday when he posted this one right here, everybody lost their goddamn shit. Specifically because he said Henry Cavill is Superman from BBS Shots with my monochromed 50mm knocked deluxe 3 weeks on Instagram. Thank you to everyone. Cool stuff. It's funny when I see like the same names. I always find it funny when I see like the same names of people that I know that are just always responding because, worshipness. We worship. And then I thought this was like a good image of Zach right here. I thought this was a pretty good image of Zach right here, and I thought he was like, I even like used this image and I posted it on Twitter. I was like, yeah, and then I said he is Superman, and people took it the wrong way. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. But yeah, he's got some beautiful images, man. I'm telling you what, the last photograph is going to be absolutely glorious. Look at that. Look at that photo right there. And then, Jesus Christ, look at this guy. Look at this guy right here. Got to show off the guns. I love the fact that Zach is working out in his V-neck t-shirts that he always wears and jeans. Hey, fuck it, man. You're in the Amazon? You don't have time to put on fucking workout shorts or workout pants. Just wear the jeans. But yeah, dude looking pretty fucking jacked at 57 years old. What is he, 56, 57? Looking pretty jacked crazy. Just saying. And then naturally he posted this right here, which a lot of people were losing their minds about as well, of Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke in the Nightmare world. This is Nightmare Deathstroke. We've seen this image before too. He's posted this one as well on Vero, and of course it got posted all over the place. This I shot with my Leica monochrome in my modified 50mm Dream Lens by Zero Optic. Thank you, Joe Manganiello, for being the perfect Deathstroke. And of course, got some other beautiful images. There's a good one of him. And naturally, I love it too. And that's cool too. That's a pulled Dream Lens right there of Kim, somebody named Kim, one of the stars in the movie. Yeah, I love it too because when you're seeing the comments of everything, you're just kind of going like, obviously people are just. They don't care about the new stuff. It's all about the DC stuff, and that's what's so funny. And I'm like, cool, but no, it is funny. Like I said, when I see people I see people just like the same people that are like responding, like, all right, guys, you know, I know you're hoping that Zach's gonna freaking respond to you, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just weird like that. When it comes to celebrity worship, I always make fun of that. I can't get myself to be like, oh, I gotta respond. Zach posted, I gotta respond. You know, I can't. I'm not one of those. I follow him and I look at his images and I'm like, crazy. So, anyways, so when it comes to that Deathstroke image, not only did Zach post that image, but Joe Manganiello also on his Instagram stories, he posted the very same image as well. But he also, what I saw right here on Twitter, if I can even find him, okay, that's weird. Jesus Christ. I follow him on Twitter, and when I type his name, probably because I'm not typing his name wrong. I'm typing his name like completely wrong because I can't type his name. Hold on, let me... There it is. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Manganiello. I always remember. Got to do that. But it's kind of funny because after that was posted, somebody posted this right here. And naturally, the person who did post it, you know, of course, they had put the hashtag sell, you know, to Netflix. Sell WB to Netflix. That's what he actually put right there. But so he retweeted this right here. The, like, of course, AI thing. Ugh. And then, of course, you know, I put his little, whatchamacallit on there. Yeah. I tell you what, if Warner Brothers were to go to Netflix, it would be so fucking bad. It'd be terrible. Of course, these guys don't think about it like that, how bad that would be for the industry. But, again, bubble... you know, echo chamber, all the kind of stuff. But yeah, Joe Manganiello did do that. But Joe Manganiello is not going to know. He just saw that and reposted it. He's not really thinking about all the certain things. But it is kind of funny too because, you know, Joe Manganiello, when he talked about his Deathstroke and his Deathstroke movie, I mean, he did specifically talk about how it wasn't super true to the story. Like when it came to like at least the superhuman level of Deathstroke of Slade, you know, he didn't really. He said that he wasn't going too true to the comic book. He wanted to add a little bit of level, like a different level to it. Kind of wondering how, if that did get released, would people accept that? Especially like the diehard, like enthusiasts, the purists out there, the DC purists. And then it's also funny too because when you have like the discourse, everybody's always talking about comic accuracy, and they always point the finger when the other guy, when Zach doesn't do comic accuracy or James Gunn doesn't do comic accuracy, you can better believe somebody on the opposite end is going to point that out, that they're not doing the comic accuracy thing. And it's just, again, just a bunch of hypocrisy, and everybody's just, you know, pointing at each other and just having a stupid dick measuring contest. It's dumb. It's absolutely dumb. But, you know, at the same time, it's like, okay, obviously, Zach is not doing this to like throw it in James Gunn's face. He's just doing this because he is promoting himself on Instagram. I've talked about this on Friday where it's like, he's not, I mean, yes, does he know like if he posts something from DC that it's going to make his fans go buck wild? Absolutely. And that's what kind of sucks too, because I wish people would get almost, I mean, obviously they're not going to get as equally as, you know, crazy as they do when he posts DC stuff. It just sucks that is going to get more attention because, well, of the crazy discourse and the fact that his diehard fans want him just to do that. And I hate that, you know? They want him to come back. Hey, stop making your original stuff and come back and make the superhero movies that I like. Make my Superman, my Batman, my Wonder Woman. I hate it. You know how much I hate it when people are like, my. Hate that stuff. But hey, at the same time, I'm just kind of going like, hey, you better believe that we're probably going to get peppered into all the last photograph images that he's posting on Instagram, which are gorgeous and great. And it's good because that is self-promoting, because there's no way that he's going to have a big marketing budget when it comes to the last photograph. And hopefully he'll utilize spaces like, hey, he's always welcome back on the Vodka stream. And hopefully we could work something out to get him back on the Vodka stream to talk about specifically that. But there's going to be peppered in some other times where he posts DC stuff. Like we're probably going to get Ben Affleck Batman image that we haven't seen before, or maybe we only saw in Vero, or Wonder Woman, or, any one of them. Gal Gadot, Ezra Miller, Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa, all of them. We're probably going to get those peppered in every now and again. But the fact of the matter is, what's sad is when, and I just hate it because I don't know if people are just, I always say stupid, there's always that saying that is stupid or you're lying. Stupid or liar. I've heard that phrase before. Are we just being ignorant, just really being stupid about this? Or are we just lying to people just to get the clicks? Because, a certain YouTuber who is obviously the guy to go to if you're on that side of the fandom that hates everything James Gunn and the DCU, and you're all about Snyder and stuff like that, and you guys know who I'm talking about. That's a person called, his name is Aaron Fisher. And I just don't know. I'm like, is he just not smart, or is he just doing this because he knows that he's going to get clicks from all these guys out there that are just, to give him false hope. This is one of the things that always bugged me when I knew that there was assholes out there, like your cultured nerds, your lightcasts. If you guys remember those days when I was calling out these fake scoopers and everything because they were taking advantage of the fandom, I almost wonder, is this guy doing that too, or is he just being really stupid? And maybe he's just really being dumb, because he posted a video today and he got catfished. He posted a video that said, Henry Cavill is Superman, more stuff is happening behind the scenes, and he brings up a screenshot, not from discussing film, but from discussing fish. Matt Reeves says he prevented the Batman saga from being set in James Gunn's DCU to spite you. That's right, guys. And here's the clip for it. Thank you, Boston Brand, for posting this, but here is the clip, and I'm going, this guy's serious?
Now, this is pretty freaking awesome, and I'm glad to see Matt Reeves come out and talk about this.
Oh, yes, he did.
This is really the real reason why this has been delayed. Matt Reeves says he prevented the Batman saga from being set in James Gunn's DCU to spite you specifically. I think that is hilarious.
It's even more hilarious that you fell for that there, Aaron. Yikes.
Fuck me, right?
Oh, my God. I mean, I barely have interactions with this guy. I had an interaction with him a couple of months ago, and it was very odd. He's a very odd duck. I kind of wonder, I think he's a religious person. Does he go to church every Sunday to pray for the demise of James Gunn and DC Studios and Warner Brothers? I wonder. Maybe I should ask him that. Because it seems like he, I thought the Christian way was to be, more positive and, welcoming and all this stuff. Dude seems like he's just a miserable person. And then, of course, apparently it's not the first time, too. I just thought it was funny because it came across my feed, and the fact that he used a parody account that specifically said this, and he thought it was true. He thought Matt Reeves really said that. He really thought that. Oh my God, dude. You can't... I always tell these people, by all means, criticize James Gunn and the DCU all you want, but be fucking smart about it. When you're not smart about it, you're totally all you're doing is making a complete ass of yourself. And then, of course, what do people do? They associate you with Zack Snyder and it's Zack Snyder's fandom again. You make him look bad. You're making him look bad. Good job, buddy. Fantastic job. You're doing great, darling. You're doing great. Jesus Christ, man. I'm I couldn't believe it. I mean, I thought it was funny, but also it's upsetting because he's putting out this slop, this false shit. Of course, when Cosmic Book posted their article saying James Gunn's out, of course, they were all over that, and that was bullshit as well. And I'm can you just be smart and honest? Smart and honest. Especially if you're a Christian man. Smart and honest. Do that. What would that one guy do? Huh? What would that one guy do? Just overall, yeah. And then Tyrone Magnus, that guy is just willfully dumb. 100%. So he never double checks his info. He sent hate towards Boba Talks one time. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, he did. You were 100% right. Sorry if I sound rude. People who are spread misinfo get on my nerves. He promoted Skywalker. But yeah, in Skywalker, we know that guy's got fucking screws loose. That's the guy who followed me to the bathroom to see what would happen at the Rebel Moon premiere because he wanted some shit to go down. So yeah, that's the thing. It's like that's what's so crazy about where that loud side of the fandom has gotten to. They have these leaders that are just willfully ignorant, fucking stupid, and just super fucking negative about everything to the point where they're just not smart. They're not even, they just see something and they immediately just, they chub up and they're like, oh, I got something here, guys. I got something here. And I'm going, what the hell are we doing here? This is like, it's not helping anything. It is not helping anything whatsoever. It is making things worse. You're making the man look bad. I hate that shit. Yeah. Oh yeah, he went up against, Boba Talks is like top level, okay? I mean, me and him follow each other. I would love to actually get him on the Vox stream and interview him, and maybe we'll make that happen. But he lives on the other side of the world, so that's going to be a little bit rough. But one of these days, I hope to just have a conversation because Boba Talks, that guy thinks out. He actually researches, thinks out, provides sources. He does such a good job with his research, such a great job with his videos, and he's smart about it. He's not negative about anything. He gives his opinions in a positive way. And yes, all the information. And then if he fucks up on something, he'll make sure that he corrects his mistakes. Do you think Mr. Fisher's going to do that? I doubt it. No. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. All right. Well, that was it when it comes to that. But overall, like I said, we're going to see more DC stuff from Zack. And guess what? It's going to cause ruckus on the internet. It doesn't mean anything to the point of things happening behind the scenes. Right now, Zack is just promoting himself on Instagram, which he's done a very good job of doing by posting stuff about the last photograph. But every now and again, he's going to pepper in some things from his past movies and his DC movies. And yes, those are going to blow up. He knows this. He knows it's going to stir the pot a little bit. But there are the people that are like going crazy thinking like, oh, he's like waging war and doing all this stuff. You got the extreme on the other side of people like that think like he's waging war and things are happening and blah, blah, blah. I'm going, stop it. You guys, just like, what are we doing here? You guys are, let's not do this. Relax, you guys. It's going to be okay. I wonder what James Gunn does think about it, though. Kind of wondered. Is he like, fucking Zack? And then he's like, can he post that? It's like, yeah, it's his image. Damn it. It's like wondering. I'm wondering. All right, that's it. That's all. And yes, I don't really like to call that other YouTubers. I couldn't help myself. Are you a fan of his? Steve Vin? Hopefully you're not wait, that's not who I think it is. No, anyways. No, I'm just saying, I just thought it was funny. But the thing is, it's just sad because, like I said, that guy is like a champion of all of that. And it just puts a bad, just makes him look bad. And I hate that shit. It sucks. And sometimes it can make him look bad. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at some Twitter questions. All right. So let's see. What do we got here? We got Eric. Let's see. Hey, Dave, have you put together a Halloween season movie lineup? What are your top priority films in the spooky season? I'm shooting for a change of pace. Ghostbusters, Nosferatu, and John Carpenter's Vampires. Isn't this from Videodrome? I mean, I get what you're saying because James Woods is in Vampires, but I was like, I thought this was from Videodrome, which is a good movie too, you know? It's not a bad movie for spooky season, but yeah, definitely watching Ghostbusters. I have not watched a single spooky movie except for Black Phone 2, but I need to start like putting on some of that stuff. I need to start putting on some of the spooky season stuff for sure. I'm just going to do the usuals. I'll probably have a Halloween in there, maybe an Elm Street in there. I don't really care about the Jason movies. I'll definitely be watching the first Evil Dead, maybe even more of the Evil Dead franchise, Dawn of the Dead, a lot of Dead. Yeah, I'll be putting on some spooky stuff for sure. Anyways, all right. Darkness Under the Wind. Dave, question 1. After how much of a step down Peacemaker Season 2 was from the first season, is this a sign that Gunn should have a co-writer by his side on a small scale project when in the middle of writing a big project? Yeah, I think he should definitely have a little help when it comes to stuff like that for sure. So, question 2. With Daredevil Born Again Season 3 confirmed and Charlie Cox revealing he won't be in Spider-Man Brand New Day as Daredevil, do you think this film will have some brief build-up to Season 3 with Punisher playing a... Oh, yeah. That's why I'm like, I still think that he might be in it. Devon Wooter, hey, Dave, are you watching the Mariners? Yeah, I don't have it on right now, but as far as I could tell, I don't know what the score is right now. I haven't checked, but we'll see. Is it funny that the new Tron movie is underperforming? I mean, it's not funny. It's just, I knew it was like, I just felt like I already knew that was going to happen. But no one's talking about it. But where the same energy, James Gunn, Superman box office, Avatar 3 box office, do you think it'll reach $1 billion? Yeah, I think it has potential to reach $1 billion. I don't think it'll reach $2 billion, but... And then Joshua G. So, Dave, it seems the top fan cast for everyone for DCU Wonder Woman is Courtney Eaton. Yeah, I've seen that suggestion before. I've not watched Yellow Jackets, but yes, she was the mom. She was Furiosa's mom in Mad Max, so I saw the fan cast after Furiosa came out. And you know what? Not bad. She's a badass. Honestly, as someone who likes Yellow Jackets, I can honestly agree with this casting for her. Yeah, we'll see. She's not bad. She's not bad to look at, too. That's for damn sure. But yeah, she was Furiosa's mom in Furiosa. So I could totally see that. Can definitely see that. All right, I got to see the score. Let's see. I got to double check. Uh-oh. Refresh. Okay, it's still 3-1. Still 3-1 Mariners. Bottom of the 7th. Ooh, buddy. Are the Mariners going to be going to the World Series for the first time in franchise history tonight? Could happen. Yeah, Adria Arona, yeah, she's not bad either. But co-writer would be nice. Yeah, good to see you, Anna Jake. I'm good to see you too, Black Red. Connor Leslie should toss her hat in the ring as Wonder Woman. Connor Leslie, I'm trying to remember what she looked like. Connor Leslie. Wait, didn't she play... She was on the Titans show, right? Yeah. Oh, you want Connor Leslie to also be... Yeah, I mean, that would be interesting. I was like, I know that name. And yeah, she was Wonder Girl, which, man, that costume... I remember that shot of her in the costume. Holy crap. From behind? Oh, yeah. But yeah, she was Wonder, yeah. She had the worst death. The worst superhero death ever. Getting shocked. That was like so ridiculous. But she was badass, she could pull it off, but I highly doubt they're gonna double dick. Oh no. I just heard my brother just say something. Shit. What happened? Ah, fuck. See, I jinxed it. I shouldn't have looked. It's 4-3 Blue Jays now. Shit. Must have been a fucking 3-run home run. Damn it. She's tall. Yeah, she's definitely tall. See, I shouldn't have looked. See, I ruined it. I looked at the score, and then right after, the goddamn Blue Jays just cleared the bases. Shit. Damn it. Shouldn't have looked. It's all right. Damn it. And we'll see what happens. All right, guys, that's the show today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourself for a little bit. Like I said, when it comes to no Wednesday Film Junkie Live, no normal Wednesday Film Junkie Live. We're gonna do a members only Film Junkie Live, just like about a half an hour, 20 minutes to a half an hour. Decent Fanimated will be at 7 o'clock from now on too. So yeah, I had to change my banners and stuff like that. But as of right now, just doing one official Film Junkie Live. Wednesday is going to be a members only Film Junkie Live, a little more low key. So if you want to join that, support the channel, please do so. And support the Patreon. Trying to get more stuff on there. Like I said, I started my little solo Sunday night pod, my Sunday evening hangover pod that I did last night. I did like a 50-minute episode where I don't just talk about movie stuff. I talk about all kinds of things. I get into like things from the past week, things that bothered me, and naturally I was sipping some wine, so I don't hold back. It's raw and unfiltered, so check that out. And yeah, have a good Tuesday. I'll see you members on Wednesday, and then of course DC Fanimated. If you guys want to join that, I'll see you that. That's going to be at 7 o'clock now, and then naturally I'll see you guys on the Vodka stream on Friday. All right, guys. Appreciate ya, and I will talk to ya later.